Hey everyone, this is Robbie Silver, and this is my week 3 critique on eulogies. This week was unique because we had to watch three really good eulogy speeches. The first one was by Kevin Costner in regards to the passing of Whitney Houston. Some positive feedback I have for him is he used, or most of his speech was personal anecdotes, and he really connected with his audience. I really loved the beginning of his speech when he said, "Whitney and I have a lot in common." No, really, we do. And he explained, although I'm a guy, she's a girl, I'm white, she's black, and that made the audience laugh. And then he started to get into how they grew up, and even I didn't know that they grew up together, so that was pretty interesting to me. The next one was about Well, the next one was by President Obama in regards to the passing of Nelson Mandela, which happened really recently, and it was very diplomatic, as to be expected whenever President Obama speaks. What was unique about this one is because the nature of it was so globally minded. It had a global connection. He really connected South Africa to Nelson Mandela and America to Nelson Mandela, and then ultimately the rest of the world and his impact. He also had a call to action in his speech when he said, our work is not over, dot, dot, dot. And he continued to say that Nelson Mandela's work will continue on. The third was by President George W. Bush in regards to the passing of Gerald R. Ford. What I liked about this one is he emphasized characterization, really described President Ford's humility and his leadership in office. I don't have a whole lot of negative feedback, especially for Kevin Costner, because his style is also my style. I've given eulogies before. I spoke at my dad's funeral when he passed 3 years ago. I spoke at my grandmother's funeral when she passed 3 years ago as well. I also spoke at a funeral for my English professor who passed away of cancer. And I use a lot of personal anecdotes to connect myself with the person who passed and to also connect with the audience. I felt that President Obama's speech maybe lacked a little bit of a personal touch because he was so diplomatic in the way that he spoke that maybe he could have had a more of a personal anecdote. Um, and in regards to the last speech, I felt that uh, President Bush he lacked pauses for effect. So there are certain times in a speech where he could have paused to make the point more effective. So his pace was a little bit too fast in certain areas. But other than that, I couldn't find a whole lot of negative feedback. And then how I will apply this to my eulogy speech is, of course, I will apply personal anecdotes and describe a timeline of events. So whenever you do a eulogy, you need to do it describe events in chronological order, and I will remember to do so.